Right, the next thing we're going to be looking at, technique-wise, is hammer-ons and pull-offs. This is quite common in metal riffs, and when you've got like a chugging riff going on, then you might want to add some hammer-ons and pull-offs. 9 times out of 10, it kind of tends to be used with open strings. You can also use it where you're not using open strings as well, but it kind of adds a few more notes and it sounds more impressive. Okay, things that you can use as an example of this would just be to practice first of all with an open string and just hammering on and pulling off. What we're going to do here is look at the example where we're going to play the 3rd fret on the low E, hammer on to the 5th fret on the low E, pull off to the 3rd fret and then pull off to the open E. And then we're just going to continue doing that just with our left hand without picking for the time being. So at a slow tempo it's just going to sound like this. Okay, nothing too bad there. When you start to speed it up, the coordination really needs to kind of kick in so you can keep it nice and even. So let's just speed that up a little quicker. And when you feel confident with that, just see how fast you can get it. Okay, the thing with this as well is to take that kind of idea and to move it along different positions on the low E string. So in one of the performances we're going to be doing a riff which is actually in drop D, but for the purposes of teaching it we're just going to do it in standard tuning, where we're going to hammer on from 10 to 12 and then pull off to 10 and then to the open string. So we're going to have 10, hammer on 12, pull off to 10, pull off to the open low E. And then we're going to move that same shape down again and we're going to hammer on the fret 8 on the low E, hammer on 10, pull off to 8 and then pull off to the open string again. So far we've got this. Also, if you didn't want to do complete hammer-ons and pull-offs, you can always pick the first note just to give it a bit more attitude. So let's see how that sounds. Picking the first note would probably be my first choice just to keep it nice and even. Okay, the next shape we're going to be looking at is fret 7 on the low E, hammer on to 8 on the low E, pull off to 7 and then pull off to the low E. So with the other two at a slow tempo we should have this. So now we're going to continue down the low E and we're going to play 5 on the low E, hammer on to 7, pull off to 5 and then pull off to the open E. Then we're going to do the same thing again, so we're going to play from 3 on the low E to 5, pull off to 3 and then pull off to the open E, and we're going to do that twice. Okay, so at a slow tempo altogether it should look like this. A little bit quicker. And see how fast you can get that. Just remember, with speed, you still need to keep it really accurate and really clean. So here we go. Okay, when using this technique, you really kind of want to make sure that none of the other strings are kind of ringing. So you just sort of hover your right hand over the strings just to kind of catch any loose notes should you get any during that. With that, that's going to be a good practice routine just to start off slow and just to get used to doing that whole action. And then obviously when you get more comfortable with that, then just speed it up.